Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a budding CDC Nymph. The hook that I have in the vise is a Lively Legs lip splitter, number 475, size 16. This is 3 extra long and 1 extra strong. Very good hook. I have a 2.5 or 2.4 millimeter silver bead on there, and the reason I'm using silver because I'm thinking of the Prince Nymph. In the Prince Nymph we use the silver bead, but it's going to look like an air bubble. And then we're going to also need CDC, and we're going to use a natural CDC, and of course for the budding wings we're going to need some white goose biots. For the tail you can use Coq de Leon or a nice stiff this is a blue dun Hackle, and it's only a tip. I broke the feather taking it out, but there's plenty on there for me to use for the tail. You want to make sure that you have a lot of the stiff one. You don't want the soft part, and the soft part is the darker part. Okay, and also we're going to use a stripped Peacock Herl. And you just take the Peacock Herl out of your package and put it on your table on a flat surface. You take a pencil eraser or a piece of foam. I got a nice little piece of foam here, and you can see there's some of the Herl on there still. You put it on there and hold it tight, and then go against the grain, and it will come off, and you'll see it on here. And then you usually have to turn the stem over and do it again so that you get it all. Okay, I'm going to use some 16-aught thread here, and this is just a light olive. And before we do that, I'm going to take a little bit of lead wire, just a little bit, and this is 10 thousandths. You can use lead free. This is not a tungsten bead, but adding this lead on there will get it up to the weight of a tungsten. Go ahead and break that off and push that inside the bead, and then you can use nail clippers to trim the backside. Now we're going to start the thread behind that lead. Give it a couple wraps around your finger here so it's nice and tight. And then we're going to push that lead into the bead and secure that. And hold that thread at the 45-degree angle, and you'll get nice, tight, touching turns as you're going. And you want to stop just inside the point of the hook. Then you can break that off. And sometimes you push the thread a little bit. Now we're going to take our blue dun Hackle. This is a nice gray color, and I'm going to take about 3/8 of an inch worth, and you hold them, grab them all, pinch them together, and then they're going to be lined up. You can see how that's kind of twisting the stem there a little bit. They'll be lined up nice for you right there. And then we want our tail to be, about the length of the body. Hold them on there. That one got away on me. Take a loose loop, put it up between your fingers, loose loop. Pull it straight down. And give it a couple more. Got a nice straight tail there. Go ahead and secure the remainder of it. Sometimes you don't have to cut, just like that. Kind of fold it back there. But since we're doing the, I'm going to cut that little speck off. Since we're making a quill body, we want to keep a nice smooth underbody here. They just make a nice smooth underbody, and you can actually shape the body by going back and forth with it. And I'm going to come back, and I'm not going to go back as far, and then I'm going to come forward again. And that's just simply building up more layers further up. And now I have to take it all the way to the back once again. This is really thin thread, so not going to be a problem. And if you find that you got your tail going down, you can go ahead and put a wrap underneath the tail, straighten that right back out. Get that a little bit closer for you there. Now we're going to take our strip Peacock Herl, and we're going to tie that in by the tip. And this is actually more of the butt section. I already made one. And we're going to secure that, keep a nice tight wraps, and bring that up. Now we take our Herl. I turn it so I can see a little better from that point of the hook. And then if you have a rotating vise, you can just hold it and go ahead and send that right up. That bobbin was a little close. Oop, back that one off. There we go. Now, it doesn't matter if I skip there a little bit on the front because that's going to get covered. And we want that thread to be about 1 bead width behind the bead. Take your poke and snip and go ahead and give that a little poke. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of dubbing on there. I'm going to use a little bit of Krystal dove to give that little bit more of just a little bit more of a flash there. Just need a couple wraps. Now my thread is in back of that dubbing. I'm going to take my dubbing whirl, make a loop, going to get that nice with the, get a good coat of wax on there. Now we're going to take our natural CDC feather, and we don't want a lot, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove the barbels from one side of it, and I already have one done. And once you get the barbels removed from one side, you can put that whole feather in your chip clip. And now you can see there's a little piece of stem on there. And we take that off. This dubbing loop was way too big. Put your chip clip in the loop and then pull it off. And once you pull it off, then release the chip clip. And get that. Now I'm going to hold them together and I'm going to spin my dubbing whirl under my fingers. And then when you let go, boom, you got yourself a CDC Hackle. You're going to bring that up. This CDC is going to wave. It's going to look a bit more lively in the water. And we're going to tie that off. It doesn't look like we even needed any dubbing underneath there because the CDC just went ahead and covered it. Remove our loop. Now I'm going to just take my boar brush or dubbing teaser and just kind of pick out some of those trapped in CDC fibers. And those little light CDCs, they're going to take air down with them, which is nice. Now I'm going to take the goose quill, the white goose quill, and just bend it, and you'll get two of them off, and pull those off. And now we're going to tie this in using that natural curve, and we're going to tie these in the X pattern, just like you would with a prince. Take the other one, again using that natural curve, size them up, hold it there in place, and go ahead and we should be looking at that. Now you can fold the fronts back and put a couple of wraps in front of them or on top of them. And you'll be looking at something like that. Go ahead and trim away those fronts. Oop. Now I'm going to take just a speck more of that dubbing, that Krystal dub. Just enough to hide the thread and the goose biots. Before I go and wrap it, I'm going to put the head cement on now. I'm going to put the head cement right on those goose biots. Gives a little more mental security there. Put a couple wraps, and then I'm going to finish it with the whip finish. Hook it, bring it around the camel hump, and now this time with the whip finish, since you have some dubbing on there, get that down, take that thread down to the shank, and then wrap it. So that way you won't push the dubbing. We'll go ahead and take the camel hump out. Snug that up. Take your poke and snip and remove that. And here we have a budding CDC nymph. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Let them know I sent you. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase any flies that I make, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it on there, on the listings, just send me a message and tell me what you want, and we'll figure things out from there. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.